Got a hair in my mouth here, Will.
Oh,
I can't continue.
Otis?
I can't continue like this. I apologize. You have to put edit.
Beard hair?
No, it's more Otis.
Oh, yeah. I get that every day.
But how did it?
I don't even feel it anymore.
But how did it float up and in there?
It does. It somehow just does.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Here's a somewhat quiet one that has potentially significant implications. Google has been working on this operating system, an all-new operating system called Fuchsia, which it was completely off my radar. I think they talked about it like 3 years ago. It was set to debut on the Google Nest Hub, and it just happened. They've been working for a really long time, and it just happened. They debuted it, but really quietly. They didn't talk about it at Google I/O, and the reason it's a big deal is because it may not forever be destined just for these type of products. It could make its way onto a phone. It could become the
singularity,
some Android alternative, or replacement. I don't know, and it's really strange how quiet it's been kept. You know, like, I don't know if that means good things for it or bad. Like, do you keep it really quiet because you have super high hopes and you don't want it to be analyzed too extensively in its current state? So you do this kind of soft rollout where you put it on a device that not many people are paying attention to, less critical than something like a phone. So you throw it on the Nest Hub. Maybe. So it is different in some key ways compared to certain other operating systems. I believe, let me just do a quick. Yeah, so Fuchsia is something very rare in the world of tech. It's a built-from-scratch operating system that isn't based on Linux. It uses a microkernel called Zircon that Google developed in-house. Creating an operating system entirely from scratch and bringing it all the way to production sounds like a difficult task, but Google managed to do exactly that over the past 6 years. Fuchsia's primary app development language is Flutter, a cross-platform UI toolkit from Google. Flutter runs on Android, iOS, and the web. So writing Flutter apps today for existing platforms means you're also writing Fuchsia apps for tomorrow.
Huh.
Whoa. So, as I said, this is kind of a unique situation in the software world, what they happen to be doing. Obviously, Google, tremendously important and influential software company. The potential here is quite massive, even though we're looking at something that currently only exists in a Nest Hub. And it's like a really rudimentary, stripped down looking operating system if you were to compare it to something like Android. But what's really important is what's on the back end and the fact that it's not Linux-based at all, which is pretty much what everything else happens to be.
Huh.
It'll be the first test of Fuchsia's future-facing Flutter app support, this particular device. Google can take the existing interface, rip out all the Google Cast guts underneath, and plop the exact same interface code down on top of Fuchsia. Google watchers have long speculated that it was in the plan all along. Rather than having a disruptive OS switch, Google could just get coders to write in Flutter, and then it could seamlessly swap out operating systems. What do you think, Will? Is Flutter and Fuchsia the future?
And Zircon?
Flutter, Fuchsia, future.
Yeah, if they can do it right, you know, and make it accessible to other developers that would want to develop for this, yeah, why not?
It's wild. You get to a point where you become so comfortable with the pre-existing software that is out there. Like, my whole life exists in basically Chrome, Android, iOS, Mac OS, and Windows. Like, that's it. That's all the things. That's it. Everything happens in those places for me.
Yeah.
And then you add another name and you're like, oh, wait, could there be something else? Could there be an all new thing, an all new piece of software, platform, etc.?
Yeah, it's backed by Google as well. Yeah. I mean, it's all about accessibility. I mean, this looks like Android, but I'm sure in the back end there's completely different code. I think it would be accessibility with new developers.
Now, this writer, Ron Amadeo on Ars Technica, mentioned something important. Moving the OS to smartphones and laptops would be tough because the Fuchsia team would then butt up against the Android team and the Chrome OS team. And so it'd be like, who's got the right thing going on? So maybe for now it's a more niche rollout just onto certain smaller footprint products. But it's interesting. It makes me want to take another look at the Nest Hub. Just poke around a little bit.
Sure.